It's bringing home a girl like Suman or having a boyfriend like Salman. For an intense scene, which I had to do with Salman, it's the first time that a girl hugs her boyfriend. Surajji, Salman, they all start laughing and they've given plenty of interviews saying that भाग्यश्री की वजह से इतनी सारी स्क्रिप्ट में changes हुए.
Hello and welcome to Coffee Time with Riha. I cheers you with my coffee.
Cheers, cheers. Cheers to the time.
Yes, and on that note, I also want to know, because you are a coffee person, I've seen your Instagram posts, how you love that little coffee corner of yours. What is it and how do you like your coffee?
Well, coffee for me has to be really frothed up. तो शक्कर बहुत कम होती है, दूध भी बहुत कम होता है, but I like it अच्छे से घोटी हुई coffee.
Bhagyashree, I mean, the reason why I decided to actually contact you and get you, on this interview is also one of the few reasons is that I have been interviewing a lot of these millennial kids, who probably are not as aware of the kind of cinema that 90s produced for us, and we 90s kids have actually grown up watching, including Maine Pyar Kiya. Your own kids are millennial kids. When you
Right.
actually interact with them, and yours looks like whatever we see on Instagram, it's a very, very fun sort of a banter, like a mother who's a friend to their children. Have you felt a sort of a generation gap ever with your children, or has it been a smooth sailing for you?
Well, actually, Griha, I was a very young mother and that helped. So I kind of grew up with my children. I had them when I was really, really very young. तो मैं भी बच्ची थी, उनके साथ खेल कूद कर मैं भी बड़ी हुई. So, but there always will be a generation gap where, the lingos are concerned. And I had this problem on getting on this live. And I was like trying to explain to the other person, I don't understand this techno thing. And my kids go like, it's not like techno music, it's technology. So you cannot call that techno. So it was like pretty embarrassing for me over there. But yeah, हमारे लिए क्या सारी चीजें short form कर लो तो lingo हो जाता है.
Yeah. You found stardom with your very first film, and you had the courage back then to leave all of that for family and for your children. Was it a tough decision back then? And people missed you eventually when you decided to, if for the want of a better word, be wanting to willingly be domesticated and be in that family way of things.
Well, first of all, I feel absolutely blessed that people do remember the work that I done like 30 years ago. तो कुछ तो अच्छा किया होगा कि I got that blessing and that kind of love and affection from so many people all around the globe. But I'd say taking the decision, I think I was too young to handle a career and home together. I felt it was impossible for me. In those times,
Yeah.
the films were quite restricted to the kind of roles that you would also get as a woman. And especially after being a married woman and a mother on top of that, you were probably delegated to being in the background. Kisi ki maa, kisi ki behan, kisi ki, so that was not what I wanted to do. I'd rather make like touch base with films and web series right now, where there are films and web series being written for women and the kind of roles that I'd like to do. So I kind of find of myself being lucky to be able to get back to work at this point of time.
And the fact that you mentioned getting back to work, two of your films are, in the pipeline. One is with superstar Prabhas that you're doing. There's another one also. And you were, in fact, shooting for that film with Prabhas when the lockdown was announced. So a
Right.
bit about, what do we get to see, once everything is normal?
So I was actually shooting in Georgia before the lockdown happened. I managed to get back just before. This film is a period film. I wouldn't say it's a historical. It's in the 1970s, but it gives a touch of the bygone era. So it's going to be a huge project. And I'm just happy to get back into work with such a humongous project. While this is also big, the other film I've been shooting for it, that is
Right.
equally big in a very, very different way.
Your family, all of you guys are into fitness. I mean, whatever I see on Instagram, all of you, I mean, even your son Abhimanyu or daughter for that matter, everybody has a fitness fad, and you guys are a stunning family. You got into fitness, your own fitness videos are such a motivation for people who have been cribbing that, lockdown hai, hum gym nahi ja pa rahe, what will we do at home? You have actually shown them how to work out at home. You've coaxed your own husband to work out along with you. So those couple workouts are something that I look forward to. Those are really amazing videos.
Well, thank you so much. All I would say that this journey was quite recent. Um, though all of us have been health conscious. I mean, post my pregnancy, my second one rather. पहली बार तो पता भी नहीं था. I was way too young और उस वक्त तो किसी ने बताया भी नहीं था कि भाई प्रेगनेंसी के बाद भी ऐसी ऐसी एक्सरसाइजेस होती है या करनी चाहिए या कोई डाइट कंट्रोल करना चाहिए. We weren't even aware of those things back then, you know. Uh, so fitness actually started with me having a small health issue a couple of years ago where the doctors had actually told me that I would have to operate because I couldn't move my right hand at all from here downwards. Um, it was just immobile. So I was extremely scared of getting it operated, and I decided to self heal myself. So I learned about holistic nutrition, about fitness, about how neurologically you can balance your body with your mind, how it is important that your gut has to help your entire system to kind of work. That there are so many proteins which people don't understand that you have to ingest all of them to make your body run smoothly, and that you should be able to do all the work being pain free. If there is a certain amount of pain in your body, that means something is going wrong. Your body signals you.
Also, since you mentioned your kids, Abhimanyu, had his debut in last year, and he won the Best Debut Male Award. You won the Best Debut Female Award when you did Maine Pyar Kiya. Was it not a surreal experience, seeing your son out there, be in that profession which you have been part of, how you were recognized and loved from your very first film? Something similar happening with Abhimanyu as well.
You know, when backstage they called me to give an award, and I said, "Oh, acha, kaun sa award dena hai?" And they said, "Best Male Debut." And I was like, "But Abhimanyu is nominated." They said, "Huh?" And I said, "You can't do this to me. मतलब उस envelope में किसका नाम है मुझे पता नहीं है. If it's not Abhimanyu's, I'm going to start crying. If it's Abhimanyu's, I'm going to start crying." So I was like, okay, this is a tough spot to be in, because you're there wanting the best to happen for your own kid, and yet it's not there in your hands. And I would have to still part away with that award to someone else, you know.
Yeah.
So I would say it was a difficult moment, but when I opened that envelope and saw Abhimanyu's name there, my heart just stopped beating for a minute, and it was completely an overwhelming feeling. Uh, Also very surreal for it to happen 30 years down the line again.
Yes,
And
yes, 30
yeah,
years.
30 years since मैंने प्यार किया, so it was that feeling, and I couldn't bring myself to even say anything. I just got too choked. So all I could do was just hug him tight on the stage. I mean, while talking to you, I'm just feeling that entire gamut of emotions that I went through at that point of time. So yeah, it was also a validation of him, uh, his hard work, putting in the best effort, because there's been so much talk about nepotism and how star kids have it easy. Well, Abhimanyu has done everything on his own, and yet when he's asked those questions, it feels like one is downsizing the hard work that he's put inside. So that was kind of a validation of his talent being
Also,
recognized.
since you talk about validation, Bhagyashree, back then when you decided to actually call it quits and you decided to, restrict yourself to family and do that because that was primary for you in your life, a lot of your fans were disheartened. A lot of people made stories. A lot of people said that Bhagyashree only did, these films where she wanted to be starred opposite Himalaya, and that was what it was, and that what something that brought her career down. So there were those detractors also. Now, when you look back, and I'm talking to you primarily in the capacity of you being an actor. Now,
Yeah.
when you look back and you see the kind of content that is available for people like you to do, because at that time, you probably did not have as much or as myriad a choice as you have now. Do
Mhm.
you feel validated because of the cinema that you're associated with now?
Well, I just feel having been given another chance to enjoy what I missed out at that point of time. Let me put it that way. It's not about putting the detractors down. It's about me being lucky enough, touch wood, to have lived the best of both worlds. I got my family, I got to spend time with my children, and I'm going to be able to enjoy acting. Because for me, it wasn't ever about being glamorous or getting fame or money. It was about enjoying the work that I'm doing. So it's not about कि उस वक्त अच्छा इतनी बड़ी heroine बन जाती. It's not about that.
Hmm.
It's about enjoying the
Yeah.
kind of work that I'm doing.
Also, talking about Maine Pyar Kiya, what is the memory that you take back now? I mean, after 30 years, when you look at the film, do you watch it often with your family? Do you do that?
No, actually, the kind of responses that I get from all the fans saying that they've watched it like over a zillion times, saying, आपकी पिक्चर चल रही है, बहुत अच्छी है, आज भी हमें गाने याद रहते हैं, या आपकी आवाज इतनी मीठी मीठी है. So, when I see that kind of love and affection, it just overwhelms me. What I'd say was, Surajji has written a film and made a subject that talks about innocent love.
Yes.
It's something that every one of us aspire to uh, to have in our lives. You know, each and every character of Maine Pyar Kiya is someone that you'd like to be associated with. So whether it's bringing home a girl like Suman, or having a mother-in-law like Rimaji was, or having a boyfriend like Salman was in the film, but there's some kind of association that every character gave you in that film. So
Right.
um, it's what they call a cult classic. I mean, it feels weird me saying it, but I'm saying it only from the aspect of Surajji having written it and directed it. It's a film that touches hearts. And
Yes.
since we are Indians and we are so emotionally bound, I think this is a film that will connect to everyone across the generations. मतलब आज मेरा बेटा जब फिल्म देखता है तो वो बोलता है अरे उस जमाने का प्यार ही कुछ अलग था.
I was reading one of your interviews where you said that you did this one scene. I mean, I know it's way back, but 30 saal purani baat ho gayi hai, but you did that one scene and you started crying and howling. You broke down on the sets. You just because you were uncomfortable about certain things, nothing to do with whatever was happening. And your director and your actor, co-actor Salman got really scared. Ki kya ho gaya? And you actually poured your heart out with your director and said that this is not something that I've ever worn in my life. I mean, this is not how we wear the clothes and all. So that was a completely new experience for you. You had a clean, you were coming from there and doing a girl from a royalty industry and doing her first film. So that must have been something.
Bria, actually, what happened was that for me, Salman and Suraj, uh, we were all doing this for the first time. So all of us were as raw, as
Yes.
if you can say, as innocent as they can be. So we didn't have any qualms of speaking our hearts out with one another. And for me, I come from a very conservative family. So I hadn't really had any interaction with the opposite sex, excepting for, yes, I had my husband, my first love, who I got married to. So it wasn't like I dated many people or had that interaction with, different boyfriends. So for an intense scene, which I had to do with Salman, so-called intense at that time, where it's the first time that a girl hugs her boyfriend. I think the whole rawness of the
Yes.
situation kind of helped because it connected with every person who has done it the first time, you know? So
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can ever forget their first kiss. So it was that kind of feeling that this character, Prem and Suman, are coming together for the very first time. So that rawness got projected just perfectly. I mean, आज भी Surajji, Salman, they all start laughing and they've given plenty of interviews saying that भाग्यश्री की वजह से इतनी सारी स्क्रिप्ट में changes हुए, लेकिन all those changes are the changes that people found um, innocence, piety, um, that's something that you connect with your first love. So I think that is what stayed in people's hearts. So yeah, we just got lucky.
People later began calling you this one film wonder because they did not see you very often, right? You took that decision. What will you call that? Looking back, what will you call that? Was it brave? Was it for love? Or was it only for the priorities that you had right in your life?
Well, I would say it was love and priorities. Both me and my husband were very young, और पूरी दुनिया जिसके पीछे भाग रही है, वो अगर आपकी बीवी हो तो आप तो बहुत परेशान होंगे. I guess. Yeah, as come on, there's this young fellow who's just got a pretty wife back home, and the whole world is saying, "ये हमें दे दो." You know how that poor man is going to be.
I know.
So, yes, he was very jealous and very possessive, and I loved him. I still do. But I mean, that time it was like, bus, anything that makes him happy. So, yeah, and of course, when Abhimanyu came on the scene, it became a completely different aspect altogether. I think motherhood changes your priorities to another level. And that's all I saw. I just saw my baby, and that meant the world to me.